Welcome to our virtual picture book party. My name is Karina and I am an early literacy specialist. I will be your host today. So, here is how it works. We have five presenters from our Children and Family Library Services Department and colleagues from Arapaho Libraries, and they are Amika, Early Literacy Specialist, Erin, Assistant Supervisor, Maravi, Early Literacy Specialist, Marianne, Branch Youth Service Librarian, and Michelle, Early Literacy Specialist. Each will talk about two books. Each has about a minute to talk about their books, so the process will be very quick. But don't worry, you don't need to write anything. You'll find a link to all the books in the video description. Additionally, the slides will display the text, wordless books using illustrations to tell stories in any language, in various languages. While the books we are sharing with you today are wordless, we wanted to celebrate how wordless books make it easy for children and caregivers to discuss the stories and pictures in any language. We love the diversity of languages in our community, and we think they are beautiful both when spoken and when represented on the page.
Hi, friends! One of the reasons my colleagues and I wanted to focus on wordless or nearly wordless books is because we want to share books that can be widely appreciated no matter what one's language background might be. My first choice, titled Nope! A Tale of First Flight by Drew Sheneman, is nearly wordless in that the only word you really need to know is the title. Nope! The usage is pretty easy to figure out, as we see clear illustrations of our baby bird's imagination running wild to scare him away from every attempt to leave the nest. His dire imaginings of danger lurking on the forest floor keep him scurrying back to Mama Bird with a firm nope and body language that tells us that he is not going to attempt flying today. In one spread, we actually do get more emphatic nopes in case Mama is unclear. No, nope, niet, nein. Again, the story is clear, and there's no need for official translation. This book feels like a silent cartoon or like reading a comic strip. I admit that as an adult, I couldn't contain my giggles from reading Mama Bird's patient but knowing facial expressions, which make this story a great choice for any age. This book was published by Viking in 2017 and is still available for checkout from Arapaho libraries. Silencio is a completely wordless book offered in our Spanish collection, most likely because it was created by the Spanish award-winning illustrator and visual artist Nivola Ulla, and originally published in Spain in 2022 by Cuento de Luz. This book has 0 words. It has a floating, magical feel full of natural elements and dreamlike qualities. The little girl interacts with nature sometimes as one could in real life, and sometimes as though in a dream. She might see a frog in a pond, or a giant one sitting next to her. But I don't feel like it's jarring because the illustrations are so soothing. It invites the reader to create the story for themselves. Another inviting and sadly unique thing to point out about the physical book is the exceptional paper quality. Not only do the pages feel smooth and soft to the touch, more importantly, they were created with papel de piedra, or stone paper, and has the cradle-to-cradle certification, which assesses its products against 5 criteria: material health, material reutilization, water stewardship, renewable electricity and carbon management, and social fairness. In short, just about everything about this book gives off positive and soothing energy.
Hola, My name is Karina, and my first choice for our wordless picture book party is Once Upon a Forest by Pam Fong. Pam Fong is the creator of several picture books, including Spark in the Dark, When the Fog Rolls In, and The Little Cloud. She earned a degree in visual arts and art history from the University of California, San Diego, and a Master of Arts Management from Carnegie Mellon University. She then had a successful career in arts management and curation before turning to her own projects. This is a masterfully and exquisitely illustrated wordless narrative. After a fire in a forest area, a purposeful marmot and her clever bird companion embark on a rescue mission. They diligently clear fallen branches and scorched thrushes, engaging in raking, digging and planting new seedlings. They exert determination and inventiveness as they nurture the emerging trees through passing seasons. They ensure the trees receive adequate water, shield their branches from wind and snow, and deter hungry creatures until the trees can sustain themselves independently. This story highlights that with time, care, optimism, and hope, we can all contribute to the well being of our planet. My second wordless picture book choice is Wave by Susie Lee. Susie Lee was born in Seoul and graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Painting from Seoul National University in 1996. Starting as an illustrator, she moved on the picture books after discovering artists' books. She earned a master's degree in book arts from Camberwell College of Arts in London, England in 2001. She has received many prestigious awards globally, including the Hans Christian Andersen Award, akin to the Nobel Prize in Children's Literature. The book tells about the girl who spends a day at the beach with her mother. Initially scared of the waves, she eventually embraces them, playing and enjoying the ocean. A group of five birds symbolizes friends to the girl, reflecting her emotions. The book explores the ocean's dual nature, its power and beauty, and the gifts it offers. Wave is a wordless book where readers understand the story through illustrations. It uses blues, blacks, charcoal, and acrylics to create stunning visuals that capture the joy of the seaside.
Hi, I'm Erin, and my first book is The Depth of the Lake and the Height of the Sky by Kim Ji-hung. A child from the city and their dog visit the countryside, embarking on a day filled with discovery and wonder. They stop by a shimmering lake where they dive into the cool water and uncover a serene underwater world. The lake is teeming with life. Fish dart between the waving aquatic plants, and the sunlight filters through the water. Emerging from the water, the child and their loyal companion relax on a sunny dock, letting the warmth of the sun dry their skin as they gaze up into the expansive sky which stretches endlessly above them. As the evening approaches, the sky transforms, bringing a different kind of wonder. The countryside is bathed in moonlight, and stars fill the sky, twinkling like scattering diamonds. Kim's illustrations shift seamlessly between the close-up of a child's wondrous expressions to depictions of their small form set against the grandeur of nature's vastness. The largely monochromatic artwork varies in line, weight, and texture, breathing life into the protagonist's verdant surroundings and perfectly capturing the transformation from a city child to one who has been deeply touched by the wild beauty of the natural world. My second book is Whose Footprints Are These? By Gerda Mueller. Mueller's realistic, colorful, and visually enchanting textless account offers a humorous and engaging journey of a young child waking up, washing themselves, having breakfast, and then heading out for a long walk around the snowy farm with their loyal dog. Along the way, they encounter and investigate various types of footprints and paw prints, creating a delightful puzzle for young readers to solve as they guess who or what made the prints. The book's end pages reveal the mystery, showcasing the prints' origins and providing insight into what the protagonist has truly been doing during their walk, gathering firewood, feeding the pony, chasing birds, and enjoying the serene beauty of the snow-covered farm. This charming, snowy adventure invites children to craft their own narrative while exploring the magic of discovery and the imagination in a winter wonderland.
Namaste. My name is Madhavi, and my first choice for today's picture book party is Christian Robinson's Another. Published by Simon & Schuster, this book is imaginative and creative. Actually, there is no story, but a series of chance happenings that encourage thinking like, what if you encountered another perspective? What might you do if you met another you? It imparts a message that different is same and unfamiliar is sometimes familiar. The story is about a girl and her cat who discover themselves in a new dimension. The laws of physics are different in this new portal. The rules of gravity aren't the same. Stairs wind up and down or around, and you can traverse them with ease, even upside down. Walking through the portal after portal, the girl and her cat see a diverse array of kids enjoying dozens of activities, none in any hurry to return to their own worlds. Although the book does not have much of a story, it's an impressive art gallery. Robinson adds a couple of interesting things. First, a broad cross section of children from different backgrounds, and second, looking at things from different perspectives. This wordless book literally opens minds to the prospect of parallel universes, mirror images, reflections of self in others, and open-minded insights into the worlds beyond our own. The illustrations in this book were rendered in paint and collage with digital editing. So this is Madhavi again, and my second choice for wordless picture books is I Forgive Alex, a simple story about understanding. Wordless books are a great way of enabling storytelling and introducing comprehension. Not only that, but you can also tell the story in any language. This book has been published by Random House Studio, New York, and is suitable for ages 4 to 8. The story has been developed and illustrated by Kira Squeth, a husband and wife team. Illustrations show a lively school setting where one kid is showing his artwork to his friends, and then unintentionally, another kid, whose name is Alex, was playing basketball and throws his ball into a puddle, and that destroys the artwork. Obviously, the kid whose artwork fell into the puddle was a bit disappointed, but he noticed that everybody else was also angry at Alex. No one wanted to talk to him or play with him or even sit beside him. Then the kid whose artwork was destroyed went and spoke to Alex. Alex was relieved and then they started playing. Seeing that, everyone forgives Alex and joins. The story shows the power of compassion and forgiveness. The author illustrator team has provided a perfect example of genuine apology and genuine forgiveness, and rich material for noticing and discussing conflict resolution. Watercolor illustrations with softly colored ink are beautiful and bring this book about social and economic learning to life. The book talks about conflict resolution and is a wonderful book for social economic learning. Another book by the same team that is worth looking at is When I Walk with Vanessa, a story about a simple act of kindness.
Hi, my name is Marian and I'm the Youth Reference Librarian at the Eloise May branch of Arapahoe Libraries. My first choice for our wordless picture book party is Home in a Lunchbox by Cherry Moe, published in 2024 by Penguin Random House. This wordless picture book tells the story of an immigrant child's first days in her new school in the United States. This book pushes the traditional format of wordless picture books in a few ways. First, many of the pages tell the story in a comic book style, with several illustrated scenes on each page. Also, there is some dialogue and other wording present in the book, which usually serves to illustrate the main character's struggles to understand the new world she's living in. One of my favorite elements of this book is the creator's use of light and darkness to illustrate the emotions of her main character. While June is upset or frustrated, the scene is darker, but when she's happier, particularly when enjoying her home-cooked lunch, the scene brightens and happy memories flash across the page. This is one of my favorite picture books from last year, and I recommend it to any young reader and their family looking for a great story about adjusting to change and making new friends. My second wordless picture book choice is Pencil by Hyun Kim. Originally published in Korea in 2021, this book has been published in multiple languages, including the English language First American edition published earlier this year. This book tells the story of a pencil and its journey from a living tree to an art supply, then how it creates a new world once chosen by a young artist. The illustrations are done in colored pencil, and the story is based on the author's own artistic process and that of her child. As an added bonus, the last page of the book contains material titled How to Read a Silent Book. In the author's own way, she describes how wordless picture books contribute to literacy and imaginative skills and gives specific examples of how her book can be experienced. This book is the perfect example of how wordless picture books can create a multilingual experience. Whether you find Pencil, La Lapis, or the original Korean edition of this book, the illustrations transcend language and culture, bringing a creative literary experience to children and families of all backgrounds.
Today I'd like to share one of my favorite wordless picture books, Flotsam, the 2007 Caldecott winner, created by David Wiesner and published by Clarion Books. On the cover, the brilliance of the bright red fish, surrounded by tiny blue-green fish, hooked me on this extraordinary gem. Visualize yourself on a beach, digging and looking for special treasures. Flotsam, seashells, sea creatures, odds and ends that have splashed onto the shore, waiting to be discovered. That is what happens in this story. A young beachcomber finds a vintage waterproof camera in the sand. That moment turns the day from ordinary to extraordinary. After running to a nearby print shop to have the film developed, image after amazing image, some real, some imagined, are shared with the reader. I have read Flotsam many times, always seeing something new to wonder about. Let's all go to the shore and explore. The Boy and the Elephant. is the creation of award-winning Australian illustrator Freya Blackwood. This exquisite book in pencil and oil on watercolor paper has a dreamlike quality that makes readers feel like they are actually there with this young boy living in a crowded city block. A solitary child, he often goes to the vacant lot next door, where tall, beautiful trees have been growing for a long time. Some trees have the appearance of large animals with big legs. It is peaceful there, and the elephant tree becomes a close friend and confidant. The boy is shocked when the lot is sold in preparation for a new building. He can't bear the thought of the magnificent trees being cut down. Read this beautiful story and find out what happens. It's magical. A closing detail illustrates that the boy now has a new friend. This is a good story for all nature lovers, especially tree huggers.
All right, that's all of our titles for today. Even with picture books, we have a lot to say, so thanks for sticking with us as we went over our time a few minutes. Just a reminder, there is a link to all the books in the video description. Thanks to our panelists for the tough job of choosing just two favorites for this season. To sign up for Storytimes and other programs, both in person and virtual, visit the events tab at arapaholibraries.org. You can also find more book lists, links to storytime videos, activity ideas, and lots of other resources. Check out our 0 to 5 page under Browse the Library. Sign up for our newsletter for regular updates on new programs and services. We are all done for today. Thanks for watching. Happy reading!